So I just recently bought this used table and I'm going to refinish it to make it look brand new. As you can see, there's some yellowing and some cup stains, some marks and scratches. And so I'm going to refinish this table, and in this video I'll show you how I did it. So here's the before and here's the after. This is what it looks like when I got done with it. So the first thing I did was make marks all over the table, just so that I could tell that I was sanding the entire surface evenly. So I just made these marks across the entire table. That way I could easily see where I've sanded and where I haven't. So I'm using a cheap Ryobi sander, and I'm using 120 grit sandpaper. That seems to be about the perfect grit for tables and cutting boards and things like that. And here I'm just making sure that the sandpaper aligns with the dust collection holes in the bottom. So I've got my sander hooked up to a dust collector, which is powered by my vacuum. And I also have a foot pedal, which I have the sander and the vacuum plugged into. And so that allows me to step on that pedal and turn on the sander and the vacuum at the same time. And so now I'm just going to do a thorough sanding all the way across the table. So as you can see, it shows up a lot lighter where I'm sanding. So maybe the marks weren't 100% necessary, but you can kind of see the difference there. Notice the scratches and everything on the part that I haven't sanded. So I just went ahead and thoroughly sanded the entire table. And then once I finished that, I went ahead and put a 1/2 inch round over on the edges of the table. It had a small round over, but I just wanted to add a little more to it. And then also there were some marks and scratches and things on the edges there, and I thought it would be best just to add the round over just like that. And so now the next thing I did was add a finish. I used Odie's oil, which is a hard wax oil that's non-toxic and food grade safe, perfect for a table like this. So the great thing about Odie's is you just apply it on as thick as you want. It's not like a stain, so if it's thicker in some areas, that won't show up in the final project. But I just put this all over the table. And so with this stuff, you just lay it on as thick as you want, and then you let it dry for at least 45 minutes or so. You can leave it overnight even, but once I have this on really thick, I'll show you what I did next. So this is the most time consuming part, buffing out the oil. The way this works is you just basically wipe on, wipe off, but the wipe off process is pretty time consuming. So I first used that rag to get most of it off, and now I'm using a buffer to buff it into the wood. And even after doing that, I had to take another clean rag and really buff the heck out of this to get it finished. And then here's the finished product. So it looks brand new. It's got a nice waterproof coat on it, and so I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. So thank you for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.